I am going to actually start today with Trump. I usually don't cover Trump that much, but every day that goes by since this mail bombing where the MAGA bomber sent bombs to CNN, former presidents, former U.S. intelligence officials, and sitting congressmen and congresswomen, it seems that Trump is doubling and tripling down on his vile rhetoric. And I think it's something we should cover. But I have a bit of a different take. So we're not going to let the corporate media totally off the hook. Although I don't think CNN, who, by the way, they found this morning another suspicious package. They didn't find it at CNN, but they found it at an Atlanta post office, and it was supposed to go to CNN. So there was another suspicious package just this morning found for CNN. So although, to be very clear with you, very clear, I'm not blaming CNN and I'm not blaming the corporate media if there are threats against the corporate media or if whack jobs are sending bombs to CNN. Regardless of whether I think CNN is propaganda, regardless of whether I think CNN and all these outlets gave Trump 24/7 coverage, which I'm going to get to in a little bit, there's no rationale for violence, and there's no responsibility or blame to be put on CNN or any corporate media outlet. People sending bombs to media outlets, people threatening media outlets, even ones we vehemently disagree with, even ones we vehemently find to be propaganda, there is no blame that should be put on CNN. Terame, thank you for the $2 in the super chat, getting us started today. Just got back from vacay. Grats on the $3,333. Thank you, Terame. And if you weren't a part of the party yesterday, here is we're at $18,620 now. Our goal yesterday, we started our GoFundMe/statuscoup.com launch at noon Eastern, and we were about 14,000 at that time. We got over 15,000, I think, in like an hour and a half. So we got over 15,000 in an hour and a half, thanks to all of you. And then some fantastic, I know who it is now. That person doesn't want us to reveal their identity, so we're obviously going to respect that. But a really incredible person contributed, look at this, $3,333, which put us way, way up. So now we're at 18,620. Obviously, sometimes in life you got to just take a moment just to be grateful and like, all right, be happy. You don't have to keep pushing. So I'm very grateful, but there's still urgency. We need to keep growing this GoFundMe. Our overall goal is 50,000. We definitely passed our goal for October, which was 15,000, but we want to keep pushing. So although we put a goal of 15,000, we are nowhere near our overall goal, which is 50,000. And this is going to In the Field reporting. Jen and I are hitting the road this week, and we're excited to tell you about that story in a few days. It's very, very big. We're very excited about it, and it's probably going to be the biggest story. It's definitely the biggest story I've ever done, and it's definitely the biggest story Status Coup has done so far. So keep contributing. $100 gets you a hat or a shirt. $127 gets you both. And $200 gets you a badass Status Coup swag bag with all sorts of signed goodies in that bag, including Status Coup pens and Status Coup water bottle. And we also, for $250, are giving out Status Coup backpacks. So you give, we give, and together we shall thrive. So I'll push the GoFundMe some more throughout this hour. And again, we're really excited. We launched the website yesterday, so definitely check it out, statuscoup.com. Definitely going to be, it's still a work in progress, so we're going to be updating and making changes as we go. But you could go check out the stories we have there, and definitely enter your email. That's very important. As much as we need to grow financially, got to grow that email list too. And Jen is in the live chat now, so she could tell you how important it is to grow that email list. So, you got, thank you, Neilon, $2 in the super chat. Thoughts about volunteer field journalists. I am not opposed to that, but we are far, far from that. We are far, far from that. We are open to volunteers. But volunteer actual journalists, we actually need more staff to oversee something like that, which we don't have right now. I'm not going to, unfortunately, as much as I love the audience, we also have to make sure that this is comes off like a professional media organization. So we don't want to just throw people out there who don't necessarily have the journalism experience, and we don't have staff to oversee what they're doing or manage it or vet people. So that's definitely something we're considering. Somebody asked about that yesterday because we did a lot of question and answer as part of our marathon live stream. By the way, if you just want something in the background, it's up now. It's 7.5 hours, so you can watch the whole, or watch or listen to the whole live stream. But eventually, sooner than later, I do want to have citizen journalists, volunteer journalists, but we definitely are going to want extra staff to basically oversee that. That's not a small thing. Basically having, viewers do journalism for us. So hopefully that comes off the right way. I trust our viewers, but at the same time, we want to make sure this isn't some Animal House. So part of the GoFundMe, it goes like this. It goes like this. We get enough funding to get in the field. We get in the field. We show people what we're about. We cover stories that expose injustice and corruption. As a result of that, we grow our paid membership, which is going to be our model. While we grow our paid membership, we also try to get sponsorship and partnership deals. So we got a lot of plans, but part of the funding plans is to bring on other reporters and bring out other staff. And I would love to have volunteer journalists too, because there's 50 states in the country and a lot of stuff going on. So the more voices, the more faces, the better. But not yet. So, and as Jen said, Neelan, contact us at the volunteer page. So that's statuscoup.com/volunteer, or just go on the website right here. See the About, Coup Crew, and volunteer. So you could type in to become a volunteer too. And Jen and Sam are overseeing all that. So, Super Chat, GoFundMe, keep it coming. Now, I want to get to Trump. And it bothers me a little bit because I've kind of made my brand not covering Trump as much as anyone else. But I think it would be journalistically irresponsible for me to not cover the President of the United States basically creating a race and religious war. That's not something I could ignore. So, obviously, everyone keeps saying, well, you can't directly blame Trump for the MAGA bomber. You can't directly blame Trump for the synagogue shooter. And I agree with that. I don't think there's a direct line. It's not like Trump is coordinating with domestic terrorists to go be domestic terrorists. However, when somebody's that mentally ill or disturbed to carry out such violence, sometimes they need a match to light their disturbed fuse. So Trump, he basically read the statements that his staff wrote for him. He read the statements that his staff wrote for him after bombs were sent to CNN. And it just didn't come off sincere. And then when he went out to the campaign trail, he went back with the enemies of the people again. Press are enemy of the peoples. Well, this morning, another suspicious device was found at an Atlanta post office earmarked for CNN. At the same time, this is what the President of the United States tweeted out. There is great anger in our country caused in part by inaccurate and even fraudulent reporting of the news. The fake news media, the true enemy of the people, must stop the open and obvious hostility and report the news accurately and fairly. This will do much to put out the flame. You literally have, less than a week ago, a domestic terrorist sending bombs to CNN with thousands of people in the building, including my brother. He doesn't work for CNN, but he just started a job in that building. And you have this man, he knows exactly what he's doing. The fake news media, the true enemy of the people, must stop the open and obvious hostility and report the news accurate and fairly. Well, First of all, who the fuck is Donald Trump to decide what is accurate and fair? Who is Donald Trump to be the arbiter of what news is honest and fair? It's outrageous. You as a public figure, I know he doesn't think of himself as a public figure, you as a public figure are fair game for criticism. Now, I think CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Associated Press, BuzzFeed, all these, I'm not defending them as journalistic outlets because I don't think they really are. But they're under the umbrella of media. So in that way, I am going to defend them in you, even if you are bad as journalists, even if you are bad media, even if you push out propaganda, even if you uncritically regurgitate what unnamed government officials tell you constantly, helping lead us to wars, which everyone that I just referenced has done. They're not there to provide Donald Trump glowing or coverage that he deems as fair. You're not a king. I mean, the arrogance and the just total insanity of this. Look at this. There's great anger in our country caused in part by inaccurate and even fraudulent reporting of the news. Well, you call every single critical story of you inaccurate. So at a certain point, it's the boy who cried wolf. What's accurate? Did you go to journalism school? What exactly it constitutes as accurate or fair? Anything that's positive to you? Folks, this is extremely... Forget CNN and all these places and what you think of them. We are in agreement that these are the bottom of the barrel. If you want to say they're journalism, I put in air quotes journalists. But this is an open call and a not so subtle call to his already disturbed supporters and to copycat attacks. Hey, the media are the true enemy of the people. Keep doing what you got to do. It is extremely dangerous.